My screen is visible to you now,
Yes, sir.
everyone? Hmm? Okay. So today we're going to discuss the new chapter, that is tissue. Tissue. Okay. And what we're going to discuss in this chapter is, that we have divided the plant tissue into, and tissue into two parts. And what actually is tissue is, so when a group of cells, okay, if I write the definition of tissue is, okay, tissue is when a group of cell, join together, group of cell join together to perform a specific function. Right? You can write a definition like this way. A group of cells join together to perform functions. They form okay, got it? Got it? What actually a tissue is? A tissue is simply, we can simply say that when a group of cells join together to perform a specific function, okay, we call it tissue. Got it? Avni,
Yes, sir.
Amal,
Got it.
and other students. Understood? Why have you not unmuted your mic? Everyone, please unmute your mic. Okay. Now we have divided the tissue. Now we're just going to study tissue. Animal. Tissue has been divided into two parts. One is the animal tissue or plant tissue. First, write it down, plant tissue, because we're going to study plant tissue first. Okay. So that is, tissue has been divided into two parts. One is plant tissue, and another one is the animal tissue. Animal tissue. Okay. Animal tissue. Plant tissue and animal tissue. Okay. Now, plant tissue has been divided also into two parts. Okay. One is the meristematic tissue, another one is the permanent tissue. Okay. One is the, means we have divided this plant tissue into two, broadly meant two categories. One is the meristematic tissue. Okay. Meristematic tissue. And another one is permanent tissue. Okay, you got it, dear students. And animal tissue has been divided. Animal tissue we're going to discuss later. Okay. Now this meristematic tissue has been further divided into various type, and permanent tissue has also been divided into various type. Okay. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Why are you not saying yes, no? Please turn on your camera. Everybody, please turn on your camera. Everybody, please turn on your camera. Also unmute your mic. Let some be noise in the class. Let it be. You're not just going to have the class, okay, like I'm teaching myself. You must answer when I ask you. So here we have plant tissue. Plant tissue has been divided into two parts. One is the meristematic tissue and the one is the permanent tissue. Okay. Now the meristematic tissue has been divided into three types mainly. One is the apical meristematic tissue. Apical. Okay. The second one is intercalary. Okay. Next one is lateral. You got it?
Sir.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And here we have the permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and complex permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. These are also simple permanent tissue has been of various type. One is parenchyma, parenchyma, sclerenchyma, chyma, and we have complex tissue into two types. One is xylem tissue, another one is phloem tissue. So please note this chart. Please make this chart properly in your copy. Aris,
Yes.
Abdul Jabbar, Amal, Riaz, you got it?
Yes,
Please
sir.
make the chart, proper chart for this one.
Okay, sir.
When you're done, please let me know, okay? Done? Abdul Jabbar,
Sir, still doing.
done? Amal,
Sir, done.
Done, sir.
done, dear student Rumaisa,
Yes, sir.
voice is not coming to me. Why it is so happening? Let me check. You are speaking, your voice is not coming to me. Let me check. Avni, please speak something. Please unmute your mic and speak something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your voice is coming. Okay. I was thinking that your voice is not coming to me. So your voice is clear. So is it okay now? Have you written this one, dear student?
No, sir, still writing.
Okay, got it.
Sir, there is more than three simple permanent tissues.
Speak a little bit louder. Speak a little bit louder. Come closer to the mic.
Sir, there is more than three simple permanent tissues.
Yeah, there are more than three simple permanent tissue because we have the divided like we have parenchyma tissue into various type like parenchyma, collenchyma. Okay, so we're going to discuss that one also. Torenchyma. Okay, so we're going to discuss that one, but we have written only this one. Okay, right now in the chart. So done. Should I move to the next part?
Yes, sir.
Done, everybody. Writing. Okay, noted.
Sir, done.
Done, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now let me explain you. Let me explain you, dear students, just this each and every part of this chapter. So, what actually the cells are? Okay, if I so you are very much familiar. We have studied the cells topic in the first chapter. Okay, now you know very well that when a group of cells join together, and they start performing, because amoeba can survive with a single cell, but we like multicellular organism cannot live in such environment. Okay, so we require more number of cells. Like we have the kidney cells. Okay, like we have the kidney cells, and kidney cells are having start performing a particular function. Like we have kidney cells. The cells of kidney is just like this. Okay, the cells of kidney are just like this. Okay, they are just like this, okay. And we have the neuron, the nervous tissue, that is like a wire in shape. Okay, so we have implant tissue. Like in plant tissue we have the pipe like structure. Okay, so there are different types of tissue that cells that start performing a particular functions. For example, some tissues start performing a particular functions of performing a job like transportation. Some start filtration, some start excretion. So there are different types of cells that completely join together and start performing a particular functions. And when this group of cells join together, they form a tissue. It is called tissue. Okay, so group of cells when join together, they form a tissue. Okay, you understood? You
Yes,
understood?
sir.
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain you here. Romaisa, are you getting mine? Are you getting me? Okay. So here we have, this means when we can say that the multicellular organism, there are different functions is being performed by different types of cells. So we can simply say that the particular functions is carried out by cluster of cells, means a group of cells and in a body, and these group of cells start performing a particular functions and we call it tissue. So what is the tissue actually? A group of cells that are similar in structures, okay, and or work together to achieve a particular function. They form a tissue. So please note it down. Note the definition of this one. That what
Okay,
a
sir.
cell does. Okay, only write this definition. A group of cells that are similar in structures.
We should note it down.
Yeah, you have to note this one in the red portion that we have put in the bracket. Done? Written?
Yes.
Okay. Now coming to the points, we have the different types of tissue. Like we have animal tissue, we have the plant tissue. Okay. So first of all, we're going to discuss only the type of tissue that is simply we can say uh, that is about the plant tissue. Okay. So let's move towards the plant tissue. Okay. Moving towards plant tissue. Plant tissue. So first of all, this plant tissue we have divided into mainly two categories. One is this we have discussed simple, or we can say that plant tissue has been divided into two parts. One is the meristematic tissue, meristematic tissue. Another one is the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. Okay, if I ask you to what are the functions of meristematic tissue? So these type of tissues are actually responsible for the growth of the plant. Means they are involved in the growth of plant. Growth of plant. Okay, I'm just explaining you need to write it later. Okay, so these are involved in the growth of plant. For example, if the tissue is present at the top of the tip of the plant, so this will be responsible for the increasing the length of the plant. This will increase the length of the plant, and this type of tissue will be considered as apical meristematic tissue. Okay, apical meristematic tissue. The second one is if it is present at the internodes, nodes or internodes. For example, if we are having a plant, okay, like this, and we have having nodes here, from here the branch is going to another branch is coming. Okay, so here that special type of tissue is present which is responsible for the branch. Okay, so here it is present. So if the new branch is arising from this, so here new branch. So where the new branch is coming, there type of tissue is present that is called intercalary meristematic tissue, and that is responsible for the branches. For doing the lateral growth, we can say that it is responsible for the nodes and internodes, for growing of internodes, nodes and internodes. Okay, and the last one is the third type of meristematic tissue is simply, if I say that, so that is the lateral meristematic tissue that is present just below the, we can say that is lateral meristematic tissue that is responsible for increasing the lateral growth of the plant. Lateral growth means the thickness of the stem. The stem is initial, the plant is not going to have very large stem or very thick stem. It is thin, but when the plant grows and grows older, its stems get on increases. Okay, so we can simply say that here this type of tissue that is called lateral meristematic tissue. Lateral meristematic tissue. It is responsible for lateral meristematic tissue is simply writing short form. Meristematic tissue. It is responsible for the lateral growth of the plant. It is responsible for the lateral growth. Lateral growth means the width of the stem. Okay, so let's write each and everything properly. Okay, so if I ask you, so let's write each and everything. That plant tissue, we have the meristematic tissue. The apical meristematic tissue, we have this apical meristematic tissue present at the growing tip of roots. Okay, these are present at the growing tips of root and stems, because the plant's length will increase, not only increase at the height, because as the plant grow older and older, its roots also goes deeper into the soil. So both plants, not only the stem height is increasing, stem, but also the root length is also increasing in downward. Okay, so that's why we are writing here that it is present at the tip of stem and roots. It is present at the tip of stem and root. The important function is to increase the length of stems and root. Please note it down. Please note it down.
Sir, done. This one.
Done. Okay. So let me show you that how this meristematic tissue looks like. Okay. So here it is. You can watch it like this. Okay, so this is a type that it is present at the tip. The apical meristematic tissue is present at the tip. Okay, and responsible for increasing the length. It is also present at the root also. If it is the root here, it is also present at the root. The intercalary, the another type of tissue, the second type of tissue, it is present at the nodes, from where the sideways branches is coming out. Okay, so please make this a little rough diagrams on your copy. Please make the little rough diagrams of all the three tissues. Okay.
Done.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next type of tissue is the intercalary tissue. Okay. Let me explain you this one also. Okay. So another type of tissue is the intercalary, and you have studied this one. So intercalary tissue is actually present at the nodes and internodes. Okay. So intercalary tissue or intercalary meristematic tissue. Okay, it is responsible for the for growing for nodes and internodes. Okay, nodes and internode region. So we can simply say it is present behind the apex. It is present behind the apex. Apex means apical meristematic tissue. At the tip means we can say that as the apical meristematic tissue. For example, if I'm saying that the height of the plant is right now is this one. Is it here the apical meristematic tissue is present. But after some time, the plant height will reaches to this one. Okay, to this one. Now the apical meristematic tissue will reaches to this one, but this tissue will become intercalary. So we can say that it is the part of apical meristematic tissue which is left behind during the growth period. Okay, which is left behind. Okay, you understood?
Yes, sir.
Intercalary is the portion that is left behind. That is left behind when the apical meristematic of the apical meristematic tissue. Okay, so if I'm going to explain you one more time this one, let's suppose this is the apical meristematic tissue right now, but when the height of the plant increases, now this is the apical meristematic tissue because the height is now this one. That is the tip. Okay, now the tip has become this one. So now this will become the intercalary. Okay, so we can say that it is a part of apical meristematic tissue. So write down the second one. It is present behind the apex. Okay, and write down only that I'm underlining. Okay, don't write the whole sentence. Okay, so note it. Try to make it short. It is a part of apical meristematic tissue which is left behind. Okay, note this one. And present at the present comma, then here comma, then continue with this line. Present at the base of leaves, nodes and internode regions. Okay, note it down. And then write functions. Increases the length of leaf in grass, stems, bamboo. Okay, so note it down. That I have underlined, only write that one. Okay. Done?
No, sir.
Noted. When you're done, please let me know. Okay. Done, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move further, dear students. Now, coming to the next point, we have the intercalary, it is the lateral meristematic tissue. Actually, the lateral meristematic tissue that I have shown you here. Okay, here. This is the lateral meristematic tissue, and this one is the lateral meristematic tissue, and it is present at the longitudinal axis. Longitudinal axis. Okay, like you have seen that there are two types of axis, latitude and longitudinal axis. So this is present at the longitudinal axis of the plant. Okay, and this is generally responsible for the lateral growth of the plant. Lateral growth of the plant. Okay, and this tissue later means after some time the meristematic tissue becomes the permanent tissue. Okay, the meristematic tissue become permanent tissue after some time when they lose their ability to divide, then they become permanent tissue. Okay, when they are not involved in the process of growth. Okay, so when we can simply say that every meristematic tissue is going to convert into permanent tissue after some time. Okay, so and the new tissue will come in place of this older meristematic tissue. Okay, so this lateral meristematic tissue after some time become the vascular bundle. After some time they become vascular bundle. And what is vascular bundle? Vascular bundle is a permanent tissue, permanent complex tissue that consists of phloem and xylem. Xylem and phloem. Phloem is responsible for conduction of food in plants, and xylem is responsible for conduction of water. So if I ask you that which tissue become vascular bundle after some time, which meristematic tissue? That is the lateral meristematic tissue. Got it? And which tissue is responsible for the lateral growth of the plant? That is lateral meristematic tissue. Got it? You understood? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And moreover, lateral meristematic tissue increases the girth. Girth means the width. We can say the girth of the plant. Okay. So lateral girth of the plant, it is responsible for increasing the lateral girth of the plant, or we can say girth means lateral girth means girth is okay. So note it down. Next slide. Okay. So note the portion that lateral meristem, it is also called a secondary meristem. Okay. Or note down, lateral meristem, also called secondary meristem, comma, occurs then don't write it, occurs at longitudinal axis of plant, comma, then comma, give rise to vascular tissue, then functions, in functions you have to write, in functions you have to write causes growth in stem, those stems and root only. Stem and secondary growth. Or you can write the whole statement this way. Responsible for secondary growth. Put it down. When you're done, please let me know, dear students. Done? Copy it.
Yes, sir.
No, sir, still doing.
Sir, still doing.
Okay.
Sir, done.
Done. Okay. Now moving to the next part is, you know that, is there anyone still writing? Should I move back to the previous slide? Everybody done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now moving to the next part is, if I'm saying that, what is permanent tissue? Permanent tissue. So actually, these meristematic tissue, when loses their ability to divide, okay, after some time they lose their ability to divide. Okay, so lose their ability of division or growth. Okay, then what will they do if they have loosen their ability to divide? They will start performing a particular function. Okay, particular functions will be done by this type of cells, and they become, when the meristematic tissue loses the ability to divide and start doing a particular function, then it become a permanent tissue. You understood? For example, sometimes when we are new to a job, then we have to perform different types of functions. But when we become experienced, okay, like for example, when we start when a student take an admission in the medical course in MBBS, then he has to study each and everything, like he has to study the heart, kidney, okay, and liver, or the whole body mechanism he has to study. But after some times, when he becomes experienced, he does some specialization course, then he started become a particular doctor of a particular organ, like heart specialist, okay, kidney specialist. Similarly, when these meristematic tissue, initially they are having functions of division, okay. So after some time they lose their ability to divide, okay, and new tissue come in place of it. So these older tissue that has loosened their ability to divide, they start performing a particular function, like the lateral meristematic tissues becomes vascular bundle, and these vascular bundles perform a functions of transporting water and food. Okay, so these are called permanent tissue. Okay, so please note down the definition of permanent tissue here. Okay, note down the definition. This is permanent tissue. Definition of permanent tissue. Permanent they are formed from meristematic tissue. The cells in the tissue lose their ability to divide. It lost. We have divided the permanent tissue into two parts, two broad categories. Okay, please note it down, dear student, fast. Permanent tissue has been divided into two parts: simple permanent tissue another one is complex permanent. Note it down.
Done, sir.
Done, everybody?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move further. Let me explain you the permutation. Okay. So they have losing their ability to divide. First of all, they are losing their ability to divide, and then they attain a particular shape and thickness. Okay, and they start performing a particular function, and this is called cell differentiation. What is this called? It's called cell differentiation. So note down the definition of what is cell differentiation. So let me explain it. Note it down. Cell when the meristematic issue their ability this change in tissue is called cell differentiation. Okay, this change in tissue is called what is called? Tell me what is called? Cell differentiation. Note it down. Note it down, your students. So this is 2 marks question comes many times that what is cell differentiation. So you must learn this one properly. Okay.
Done, sir.
Okay. And when what is going to happen right now, the meristematic tissue does not have any particular shape, but when they differentiate, okay, and they start performing a particular functions, then they have the shape of the cells. I mean, they have shape of the cells according to their functions. Okay, got it? Got it? They attain particular shape, size. Okay, got it? Understood,
Sir.
everybody? So we have divided
Yes, sir.
the different types of tissue into many parts. Okay, let's study each and every one clearly. So let's start. Now we have simple permanent tissue, we have complex permanent tissue. Now we are just going to study simple permanent tissue. Okay. Simple permanent tissue are those tissues that are going to consist of only one kind of cells. Okay, means if the cell is only one type, there is no different type of cell is present. For example, if I'm having for example, if we have only one kinds of cells and they are permanent cells and they are performing a particular function, so they are considered to be a simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. But what is happening if there are two different types of cells, like we have trichates and vessels? Vessels are cylindrical shapes and trichetes are spindle shape. So they are two different types of tissue, but this is trichetes and this is vessels, and like we have xylem fiber, parenchyma. So these xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma, okay. So dear student, these four type of cells, they togetherly join each other and form what they form. They form a tissue that is called xylem tissue. Xylem tissue consists of trichetes, number one, then vessels, then xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. They are the four types of tissue we have. Okay. And they simply, there are four types of cells we have, and these four types of cells are going to form a single function. So this is called complex tissue because there are different types of tissues. But in simple permanent tissue, this is complex tissue. This is complex. Why complex? Why complex it is? Tell me. Why it is complex? Because it consists of more than one kind of tissue or more than one kinds of cells. Okay. But when we have only similar kinds of cells, like we have all the almost same size, same shape cells, then they are going to have simple permanent tissue. Got it? First of all, is that clear that what is the difference between a permanent tissue and a meristematic tissue? Tell me. Who is going to answer me? Tell me, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me what is the difference. Abdul Jabbar, tell me what is the difference between a simple, what is the difference between a permanent tissue and a meristematic tissue? Abdul Jabbar, tell me what is the difference between, please unmute your mic and tell me what is the difference between Avni,
Yes, sir.
what is the difference between permanent tissue and meristematic tissue?
Meristematic tissues grow and grow, but permanent tissues are for protection. They
Permanent
are dead
tissue,
cells.
they are dead cells.
Yes.
They may be living, like we have parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue are living. It's not necessary parenchyma, they are living tissue. They when a meristematic tissue stop divide and
Not
start performing a
capable
particular
of
function.
growing.
Yes, they start performing a particular functions. Instead of growth, they start performing a different functions. Then we'll say that they are the permanent tissue. Got it? Avni, you got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Aris, you got it? Rumaisa, Amal.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So tell me, what is the difference between simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue? What is the difference between simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue? Maisa, tell me. Please turn on your camera. Everybody, please turn on camera. Why are you switching off your camera? Why? What you want to hide? You are just a kid. Tell me, dear students, what is the difference between permanent tissue and simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue? Simple permanent tissue consists of only one kinds of cells. Okay, let me show you that what is the difference between a complex tissue and a simple permanent tissue. Okay, let me show you with the pictures.
Complex permanent tissues are made up of many type of many cells together, but yeah, simple permanent tissues are only made up of one cell.
Okay, okay. Like we have this type of tissue. Let me show you with the pictures. Okay, just you look at this. This is the parenchyma tissue, and this is simple permanent tissue, parenchyma, parenchyma. Okay, so if I'm saying that they are consisting of only one kinds of cells, all the cells are similar to each other. Okay, so these are the parenchyma. parenchyma cells that are going to have only one type of cells. Okay, I'm going to show you the xylem tissue and the phloem tissue that are going to have different types of cells. That are going to have different types of cells. Let me show you. Now look at this. This is actually the
Sir, should I
the
draw this?
no. This is xylem tissue, and this one is whole xylem and phloem tissue both. So you see here, it is consisting of this is trichetes here, trichetes. That is vessels. This is vessels. These are cylindrical shape. These are spindle shape. Like we have like this, like this. So we have this type of shape. Okay. So they are just like this. They are not cylindrical. They are just like this. Okay. So we can say that there are different types of tissue. We have xylem fiber, xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma. So there are different types of cells. These are called complex tissue. They are not going to have a simple only one kind of tissue like this one. Like this. This is going to have only one kinds of tissue. Simple permanent tissue are those tissue that consist of only one kinds of cells. Okay. Got it? Is that clear to you, everybody in the class? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
clear, dear students? So let us study each and every one by one. That what is simple permanent tissue, what is complex tissue. Okay. Okay. Let's learn each and every. So I have taught you that there are the three types of mainly permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. There are three types. One is the parenchyma, simple permanent tissue. Permanent tissue are of three types. Okay. One is the parenchyma. Parenchyma. Another one is the parenchyma. Parenchyma. And the next one is the sclerenchyma. And parenchyma are also three types. Simple parenchyma. Simple parenchyma. The second one is parenchyma. And the third, the last one is parenchyma, and the last one is chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma. There's a difference between coal and this parenchyma. This is chlorine that consists of chlorophyll. The names come from it consists of chlorophyll. Okay. So please make this chart. Make this chart, dear students. When you're done, please let me know. Okay.
Yes.
Sir, done.
Yeah. So let's study each and every one by one. Okay. Let's study first parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue generally provides, they are the living tissue and they generally help us support means and storage of food. Okay. So they generally help in storage of food, dear students. Okay, and the parenchyma provide the flexibility to the plants. Now you see that green twigs are able to twigs means you can easily fold them. The green part of it. So this is because of the parenchyma tissue because the region or the part of the plant that is flexible. The leaves you can the leaves of the tree or the plant can be folded. Okay, why you are able to fold it because of the parenchyma tissue because parenchyma tissue is flexible. And you know that some part is very hard like the coconut husk. Okay, and the walnut of the shell of walnut uproot. Okay, so these are very hard and you cannot break it. So this is made up of parenchyma tissue that is completely dead tissue. Okay, so let's discuss what is parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue is actually a living tissue. So let's discuss this one. Difference between parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and the parenchyma. Okay, this one here. Okay. So please let me explain you first, then you have to write. The main difference between parenchyma, parenchyma, and sclerenchyma tissue is that there is only primary cell wall is present. Means the first cell wall is present. The parenchyma also have the primary cell wall, but here there is secondary cell wall is present. Means there is a secondary cell wall, or we can say the secondary. Means after the primary, there is a secondary. Secondary cell wall is hard and dead, and that it is present. Okay, in the sclerenchyma tissue. You can simply say that these have thin cellulosic. Means the cell wall is made up of cellulosic cell wall or hemicellulosic cell wall. Okay, and normally don't show secondary cell wall. Means here you see that means there is no secondary cell wall is present. Okay, but here you see that these tissue are thick. I will show you the figure of these tissues also. These tissues are thick and non-lignified wall with irregular cellulosic lignin. Means there is a substance that is called lignin. Lignin is very hard, or we can say that it make the wall impermeous. Impermeous means it make the wall impermeous means no water can contain. Like we have the bricks, okay, and there is a cement present between the layers of the bricks. Okay, so like we have this is the layer, the cement. So similarly, when there is a cells in the cell wall, okay, they have some lignin. Lignin is a substance that is impermeous, or we can say that that make the waterproof or make the cell wall very hard. Okay, so in the parenchyma tissue, you know that they are flexible. They can easily bend together. You can easily bend means generally it having flexibility. So how can it be hard? So we can say that here is non-lignified cell wall is present. How it is? Non-lignified means lignin is not present. So we can say that non-lignified cell wall with irregular cellulosic lignin means irregular. There is no regular thickening. Cellulose, it is also made up of cellulose and provide mechanical support. Okay, why? We can say that in the sclerenchyma tissue, we can say that there is a lignified cell wall is present that provides mechanical support. So you understood that what is the difference between the parenchyma and sclerenchyma tissue? Or should I explain you one more time? Let me explain you with
No,
this one.
sir, understood.
Let me explain you with this one. Just for that. Let me explain you with this figure. Like we have this three types of tissue. The one is the The one is the parenchyma tissue. This is the parenchyma tissue. There's an intercellular space is present. Okay, and they are not very tightly packed. Okay, and they have cellulosic cell wall. The next one is a parenchyma tissue. They have the cell wall. Okay, irregular cell wall. And another one is the sclerenchyma that consists of that is stone cells. We can say that is very hard. And cell wall with lignin. Lignin is very hard substance. So here we can simply say that a lignin substance is present in this type of tissue. Okay. So if I taught you about the parenchyma tissue is generally the parenchyma. It is a fundamental tissue. We can say that it is a student. It is a fundamental tissue. First time involved in bryophytes. You don't know about the bryophytes. What are the bryophytes? Because you have not studied or diversity. So let it be. These are very small. Okay. Small plants, plantlets, that is called bryophytes, that like the mosses we have. They are very small plants. Okay, we can simply say that. And they have thin wall, oval and spherical structure. Means its cell is oval and spherical structure. The cell wall is mainly made up of cellulose and pachyl. The important things you need to note it down here. Let me short these notes for you about this one. Okay. So note this one. Okay, so we can say that parenchyma tissue, it is a fundamental tissue. Fundamental means basic. Okay, from which other tissue are made up of. Okay, because it is going to have primary cell wall, and from this the secondary cell wall is being formed. Means from this parenchyma tissue, after some times, you see that the green leaves, green part of the plant become woody. Okay, initially the plant stem is green in color when the plant is growing, and then after some time it becomes woody. So after some time, these tissues are converting into the sclerenchyma. Okay, the hard mass of the cells or the dead cells. So we can say that this is a fundamental tissue. Okay, so note down parenchyma. It is fundamental tissue. Okay, this have thin cell wall, or we can say that thin walled cells. Okay, oval and spherical in structure. Primary function, storage of food. Okay. And noted consists of large central vacuole. Okay, write the code statement. Don't write just noted parenchyma.